Sergio Oliva, better known as the Myth, is one of the most iconic figures in bodybuilding history. Born in Cuba, Sergio began as a weightlifter, not a bodybuilder. He was naturally strong and gifted, competing in international weightlifting competitions and even representing Cuba on the world stage. But after he defected to the United States, his journey took a turn toward bodybuilding, and the sport would never be the same. What made Sergio stand out from the start was his incredible genetics. He had proportions that were nearly unheard of, a tiny waist paired with broad, powerful shoulders, and muscles so full and round that they seemed almost otherworldly. His muscle insertions were incredibly unique, creating a balanced, symmetrical physique that was both aesthetically pleasing and massively powerful. He was often described as the ideal bodybuilder, with proportions that inspired awe among both fans and fellow athletes. In 1967, Sergio made history by winning his first Mr. Olympia title, defeating the reigning champion, Larry Scott. This victory marked a turning point in bodybuilding, as Sergio brought a level of mass and definition that set a new standard for competitors. And his title defense in 1968 cemented his legacy. He went on to win Mr. Olympia 3 times, dominating the late 1960s with a physique that was simply unmatched. Sergio's genetics weren't his only asset. His work ethic and commitment to pushing limits played a huge role in his success. He trained with an intensity that was rare, even among other top competitors. Stories of his grueling training sessions, combined with his natural talent, fueled his legend. But it wasn't just about his muscle size, it was the flow and symmetry of his physique that made him a true work of art. Even Arnold Schwarzenegger himself once admitted that Sergio was one of the few bodybuilders who truly intimidated him. Arnold respected Sergio's physique so much that he considered him one of the greatest he'd ever seen. The two had legendary battles on stage, with Sergio's presence and sheer power leaving a lasting impression on Arnold and fans worldwide. But despite his successes, Sergio's journey wasn't without struggles. He faced challenges in the bodybuilding world, and politics sometimes kept him from competing in key contests. Yet, even with these setbacks, he remained a towering figure in the sport. His legacy lives on, inspiring generations of bodybuilders who still see him as the gold standard for genetics and aesthetics in the sport. Sergio Oliva's influence on bodybuilding is undeniable. His genetics, his work ethic, and his undeniable presence on stage made him a legend. Today, when we talk about the greatest, Sergio Oliva stands in a class of his own. The Myth will always be remembered as one of the most genetically gifted bodybuilders of all time, a true icon whose legacy continues to shape the sport.